All right, guys, so today we're going to take a look at a very high-end pair of wireless headphones from Edifier. Now, Edifier is one of my go-to companies when it comes to bookshelf speakers, but normally not so much when it comes to headphones. Now, true wireless earbuds, we've seen some very impressive pairs from them, but those have kind of been in the budget realm, and that is not what the Edifier Stax Spirit S5s are. That's the pair that we're going to check out today. This is a very, very premium pair of wireless headphones that's basically trying to be the best wireless pair of headphones that you can buy. And it does come with a price tag, but it also comes with features that kind of separates them from some of the other wireless headphones. And this pair is not meant to compete with the Sony and the Bose and the Sennheisers because these don't actually have noise canceling. But what does separate them from the other ones is they do use planar magnetic drivers. Now they do come in with a price tag of $499, which makes them more expensive than the pairs from Bose and Sony and Sennheiser and all of those, but it also makes them cheaper than the Focal Batiste, which is one of my favorite wireless pair of headphones because those come in at like $700 or $750. And I think that is more the direct competitor for the Edifier Stax Spirit S5. So we're going to talk about all of the features. We're going to talk about what comes inside the box, talk about the sound, and see if it's worth the $500 price tag. Now, the first thing that I want to start with is if you're not really familiar with the name Stax, that was a company that actually kind of focused on electrostatic headphones, which cost thousands of dollars. But Edifier acquired this company, I think about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. And that is where the Spirit Stax like sub-brand comes from when it comes to Edifier. This is what the combination of buying Stax and Edifier, this is what I think they're considering their high-end headphones. Now, the technology that's in this headphone is it is using Bluetooth 5.4. It is high-res wired and high-res wireless certified. It also allows you to take advantage of Snapdragon sound if you do have a device that actually has a chip capable of being able to take advantage of this. And the codecs that you're getting is pretty much every Bluetooth codec you can think of. You have LDAC, you have LHDC, you have aptX Adaptive, you have aptX HD, aptX Voice when it comes to phone calls. The sky's the limit pretty much with codecs. It even has the standard ones if you're going to use it on an Apple device. Obviously, the most that you can take advantage of is AAC, but that's just a limitation of Apple devices in general. Now, you are going to want to use Edifier's app so that you can make sure the headphones stay updated. There are some EQ options in here. There's also a spot for you to choose what ear pads you're using because the ear pads that are on the headphones out of the box are a lambskin like leather. It is very soft and comfortable. I've seen this on some more expensive headphones in the past, but they also offer an option for a mesh style ear pad. So if you're going to use these for like gaming or if you plan on using them for like a long period of time, the mesh ones are a little bit more breathable, but they're still super comfortable. But you know, I've always said this, depending on what ear pads you use, same thing with different ear tips, it affects the audio quality. So the fact that the app has a spot for you to choose what ear pads you're using, it will change the sound based off of that. Now, also within the app, there is the ability to switch it into a gaming mode so you can cut down any kind of latency if you're going to use them for different types of media. You can also go in the app, and this is where you would switch it on to let it know what sampling rate and everything that you want to use when it comes to these. You also can go in the app to turn on the multi-point feature, but if you are going to have these in multi-point where you're connected to more than one device at a time, this is where you cannot have them in LDAC mode. So you are going to have to sacrifice that to be able to have multi-point connection, which that's essentially the same in every pair of headphones that I've tested on this channel. Now, as far as the actual design and the build quality of these, when you pick them up, they don't feel like the most premium pair of headphones. Now, on the outside, they are using a cowhide leather, which actually looks pretty nice, but the rest of it is just kind of a mixture of like metal and plastic. And the actual frame reminds me a lot of the Sony XB950 headphones in the past, where it just has the outside where it kind of slides up and down to adjust these, and then the metal is kind of what takes up the top part of the headband. Now, it does have plenty of padding at the top. This is not one of those that I think is a very heavy pair of headphones. Again, like I said earlier, the ear pads are extremely soft. Now you can see some ventilation at the top of the ear cups. This allows it to just kind of open up the sound a little bit. It allows the bass not to seem as congested. It's a vent. It allows it to just kind of flow out a little bit. But do keep in mind, this also allows these to leak a little bit more audio compared to other normal wireless headphones. I noticed at higher volumes, my wife was able to hear basically what I was listening to while she was on the other side of the room. You might want to keep that in mind, especially if you're somebody that's really self-conscious about people looking at you in public or knowing what you're listening to. Now, these do fold inwards and they do swivel to lay flat, and that is great because it means the case on these can be compact, and it is. It's a very nice, hard, compact case because you fold the headphones in, just cram them into there. And then as far as anything else they've included, it does come with a 3.5mm cable so that you can use these wired. It also comes with a 1/4" adapter so you can plug these into an amp or into a receiver that only uses a 1/4" plug-in. It comes with a USB-A to USB-C cable to be able to charge these, and the battery life on these is extremely impressive. On a full charge, you can get about 80 hours, but it does have a fast charge feature where a 15-minute charge is going to get you 13 hours of use. So just simply charging these for 15 minutes basically gives you all the battery life that you're going to need for a full day of use. And again, that's impressive. But if you are going to be listening to these in LDAC mode, if you're going to have these in gaming mode or something like that, do know that that is going to bring the battery life down quite a bit. So now let's go ahead and jump into the sound. Now these are aimed at being a high-end pair of audio headphones. They're not trying to compete with noise canceling, which means the noise canceling is not affecting your audio like it does in other headphones. It also means that you're not paying for noise canceling technology. You are simply paying for the audio that these can deliver. And the fact that they're a planar magnetic driver pair of headphones means that it also has planar characteristics. This is not an overly bass heavy pair of headphones. This isn't meant to have that subwoofer type effect, but the bass on these is very fast, it's very accurate. It makes drums sound a lot more natural. You can still feel the punch of bass. I'm not saying that it's not there, but you know, this isn't gonna have the bass that the Sony XM5s have. It's just not capable of doing that because of the drivers that these have. But what it is capable of doing is bringing out a lot of details when it comes to the mids and the treble. The mids on these sound absolutely fantastic. It is one of the best wireless pair of headphones that I've used when it comes to vocalists. Which means if you're going to be watching movies or TV shows, dialogue is going to stand out extremely well. But when it comes to music, male and female vocalists, there's just so much rich detail to them. And the treble on these have a lot of detail without having that sibilant sound in the S's. It doesn't sound overly harsh or overly bright. It kind of has just a very natural overall tone to it. Now, it's not warm. I wouldn't even characterize it as that. It just feels like as if you're walking into a room and you're just listening to a band live. It has a decent amount of space to them. I think being able to tell where different sounds are coming from, this pair handled really well. It's just a very articulate pair of headphones when it comes to sound. I guess that's probably the best way to explain it, and which means it's really good across all genres. It doesn't lean towards just being good at hip hop or pop or maybe just good at metal, which it's really good at rock and metal. Again, planar magnetic drivers I've always enjoyed listening to rock with because of how fast and accurate they are. So my overall opinion is this. If you are fine with putting all your money towards the audio quality, maybe you don't want to spend as much for the Focal Batiste. I feel like audio quality wise, these stack up against those very, very well. In fact, I think that's probably the only competitor these have when it comes to sound quality. But if you are, again, somebody that's self-conscious about the sound leaking or drawing attention, that is where I would probably not recommend these if you're going to listen to them in public, because they do leak quite a bit of sound. And it's not an open back pair of headphones. It doesn't leak that much sound, but it's still pretty clear what you're listening to if somebody's in the same room with you. But they do get plenty loud. The sound can still be fun, but it's, again, not going to have that like rumble of the bass. If you're looking for something like that, there's plenty of other options to look at. But if you want something, again, that's pretty detailed, you want something that's pretty accurate, I think Edifier just knocked it out of the park with these. They're throwing every high-end Bluetooth codec at you that you can possibly want. They're giving you plenty of battery life to last you more than enough without having to worry about charging these all the time. And I think this is a pretty special pair of headphones, but I don't think they're going to win any awards for design. There's nothing here that stands out. There's nothing here that says this is a really cool looking pair of headphones, but that's not what the Edifier Stax Spirit S5s are going to be known for. But guys, that wraps up my video on the Edifier Stax Spirit S5s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.